direct care staff needs to hear this story, and it's not even, it's everybody within in any place that cares for our most vulnerable folks, is they need to hear the story.
Oh, I just thought it was wonderful, and just what we need to hear, just what people in healthcare marketing need to hear, the real human story. And I just think his wife is very lucky to have him for a husband. I think, you know, it was a great story with a wonderful ending. In the, you know, he talked about change a lot, and his life dramatically changed, and it was just very captivating and moving.
Hi, my name is Kelly Whittaker, and I am the New Mexico Healthcare Association president. And I had the opportunity to listen to Larry Johnson today present at our annual convention. And I have to say, it was probably by far the best presentation that I have seen in the last 15 years.
You know, quality in healthcare is, I think, one of the most important thing. And I speak from experience as a customer. And so I want to tell you about that. But before I do, I need to introduce you to my wife. And this is a picture of us in 1968 at a party. Now, that's me in the blue vest with the hair. And that's she to my right there in the, what do you call that thing she's wearing? A poncho? Yes, it's like a macrame hanger. Yeah, that was in '68. This was in 1970. We had gotten married and gotten productive. And this is in '75. As you can see, my wife was still into that hippie mode. I'd moved on to be a disco god.
This is us on our one of the best bike rides we ever took, and this was in Italy. We rode through Tuscany, and that's my daughter on the right, and CJ, my wife, on the left, the love of my life. And this was taken in a cafe in Tuscany, and I don't know if you can see the look in her eye, but she is just one delightful person with the devil in her eye. She is. This was in 2002.
And this was taken in the dining room of a nursing home in 2004. You see, in 2003, October the 11th, we were on a biking trip through Northern California, and we got to the top of a hill, and we chatted a little bit, and then I said, I'll see you at the bottom, because I'm a faster, more reckless rider than she is. And I took off. And I noticed some rocks scattered on the road, and I tried to signal her. Anyway, I got to the bottom of the hill, and I waited and waited, and she never showed. Finally, somebody drove up and said, were you riding with a woman in a red shirt? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, she's up on the hill, and there's been an accident, and she's unconscious. Of course, I was devastated, as was my daughter and all of her family and all her brothers and sisters. But then one evening, things changed. I was visiting, and I got ready to go home, and I leaned over and said, I'll see you tomorrow, sweetheart. And I kissed her. And for the first time in 2 months, she kissed me back. She just went. And I drove home on a cloud that evening. I thought, she's in there. She's reachable. Maybe we can turn this around. Hi, this is Larry Johnson, and I want to thank you for watching this video of telling the story of my wife's ordeal. She was in a nursing home or some kind of rehab facility for about 2 years after her accident. And in that time, we had the opportunity to get to know lots of healthcare professionals, and the overwhelming majority of them were wonderful. One that I really remember a lot is a lady named Mavis. And Mavis just took a liking to CJ. And she was really good and did what I considered quality care. She was right on top of everything for CJ, kept an eye on her skin and kept an eye on anything that was going wrong with her. But she also shucked and jived with her and treated her like a sister. And she would gossip with her about things going on in the nursing home. Things I'm sure the nursing home administrator wouldn't want. But I got to tell you, as the family member standing there watching this happen, I'm loving it. Because she was treating CJ like an adult, like a friend. After those 2 years in the nursing home and rehab, CJ came home and lived with me for 14 years. And I had a chance to interview her one evening about her experiences in the nursing homes. And this is a little bit of that interview. CJ, the reason I'm interviewing you is to get your thoughts and observations about your accident and what happened after the accident. And first of all, I want to make sure do I have your permission to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the accident. What happened to you, CJ?
Well, I was riding my back, and I came to a pile of rocks that I tried to navigate through. And the bike threw me off.
Can you tell me what effect that has had on you?
Well, I suffered brain damage from it.
We're going to be showing this tape to people who work in healthcare. Do you have any advice to give them?
They act like the people that they care for. It makes a big difference.
Okay. Well, thank you, CJ. I really appreciate it.
All right. You're welcome.
Just before I brought her home from the nursing home, that was in 2006, I took her out to dinner, and we were sitting there, and I was feeding her, because she can't feed herself. And a lady came up and tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "Excuse me," and I said, "Yeah," and she says, "Have you discovered the joy?" And I said, "I beg your pardon?" And she said, "You know, the joy." And I said, "No, what do you mean?" And she said, "The joy of taking care of somebody that you love." Now, I hadn't. Well, maybe 6 months later, she was home in our bed, and one night in the middle of the night, she started fussing, and I had learned by then that meant that she had soiled herself, and I was going to need to clean her up. So I got out of bed and went around the bed to the other side to change her. Now, I was trying not to wake up. You ever done that in the middle of the night? You're trying to do something like go to the bathroom, but you don't want to wake up, so you try to stay as asleep as you can. That's what I was doing. And I cleaned her up, changed her, got her all squared away, and I said, "There you go, dear." And as I started around to the other side, in a very quiet little voice, she said, "Thank you, Larry." And then I knew the joy. It just swept over me. And it never left me. The joy of taking care of her became my major role in life. But for 14 years, she was home with me. And I was her primary caregiver. And it'll be the most joyful 14 years of my life. Now, that's just me. I got to say to all of you, I hope that you find what you do as joyful, that you make a huge difference in people's lives, just like Mavis did, and just like that sister who found us the house. You make a big difference, and I hope you find it joyful, because it can be so satisfying. I know it was for me. Thank you. Thank you.